the whole movement of anger. You can see greed come into being. See something you want and you follow the reaction. To be aware of that. Of course one can.
Okay.
As it arises.
We're about to play some more
Now
games.
the question is little more.
This is the most I think I've ever seen
different,
chatted
more deep, is can
post
thought.
game.
Please listen to this. Which is, you can be aware as anger
A colleague
arises. That's very
says she's
simple.
done playing.
But is there an
Yeah.
awareness
You can pause this.
of thought,
read this shit.
awareness of thought itself? You understand what I'm saying?
The league community, got a bit better today. She's really done.
You're thinking now, aren't you?
Thank you, Blueberry, for liking
Or are you
the
all
cats.
absent-minded? You're thinking now, aren't you? Now, as you are thinking,
this is so much.
Find out if that thinking can be aware of itself, not you aware of thinking.
Probably going too fast, but you get the
You understand
idea
the problem?
anyways.
I wonder if
This game does things to people.
It is great. No. This is really...
People are the way they are, and
great fun if you go into it.
And just get set off.
Not only fun, it's very, very serious, because we can go very, very deeply into all this. That is, you are thinking about something.
And I like how down at the end,
about your dress or your look,
a flame,
what people have said, what you're going to meet, and
I
this and that.
judge Diablo
Thinking
as not
is
being
there.
that fun. Which
Now,
doesn't look like it's very fun.
Take one thought,
I have to admit. And then we start agreeing
and
because of the Fallout comments.
See if that thought can know itself.
World. Okay, whatever.
Yes, sir. This requires tremendous attention, and which you're not used to.
In the game.
You're thinking about the dress you've had or you're going to buy. The thought that arises, can that thought say, yes, I'm awake? You understand? I see myself. Itself, not you observe the thought. Because you are also thought. You understand? So you are not aware as thought arises. But thought itself is aware as it comes into being.
The sixth extract is from the seventh talk in Saanen, 1971, titled, Can Thought Be Completely Silent?
One must have noticed what a little space one has. How crowded it is in our souls. Please watch it in yourself. And how is one being isolated in that little space with enormous thick walls of resistance, of ideas and of aggression? How is one to have space that is really immeasurable? As we said the other day, thought is measurable. Thought is measured. And any form of self-improvement is measurable. And obviously self-improvement is the most callous form of isolation. And one sees that thought cannot bring about the vast space in which there is complete and utter silence. You're following? Thought cannot bring it. Thought can only progress, evolve a space in which, in ratio to the end it projects, which is measurable. And that space which thought creates, imaginatively or of necessity, can never enter or come into a dimension in which there is space which is not of thought. You understand my question? Thought has built through centuries a space that is very, very limited, narrow, isolated. And because of this very isolation, narrowness, it creates division. And where there is division, there is conflict. Nationally, religiously, politically, in every way, in relationship and so on. That conflict is measured. The less conflict and the more conflict, and so on. My question is, how can thought enter into the other? Or the other is not, thought can never enter into it. You understood? I am the result of thought. All my activities are based on thought. Logic, illogic, neurotic, or highly educated, sophisticated, rational, scientific, technological. I am the result of all that. And that has space within the walls of resistance. Now, how is the mind to change all that and discover something which is a totally different dimension? You've understood my question? Are we meeting each other? Can the two come together? The freedom in which there is complete silence and therefore vast space, and the walls of resistance which thought has created, with its narrow little space. Can the two come together and float together? Right? This has been the problem of man, religiously. When he inquires at great depth, this is the problem. Can I hold on to my little ego, to my little space, to the things that I have collected, knowledge, the experiences, the hopes, the pleasures, and move into a different dimension where the two can operate? I want to sit at the right hand of God, and yet I want to be free of God. I want to live a life of great delight and pleasure and beauty. And yet I want to have joy which is not measurable, which cannot be caught by thought. You follow? I want pleasure and joy. I know the movement of pleasure, the demands of pleasure, the pursuit of pleasure, with all its fears, travails, sorrow, agony, anxiety. And also I know that joy which is totally uninvited, which thought can never capture. If it does capture, it becomes pleasure, and then the old thing, the old routine begins. So I want to have both. The things of the world and the other world. I think this is what is the problem with most of us. Isn't it? To have a thumping good time in this world, why not? And avoid all pain, all pleasure. Avoid all pain, all sorrow. Because I also know at moments when there is great joy which cannot be touched, which is not corrupt. I want both. That's what we are seeking. Carry all our burden and yet seeking freedom. And can I do this? Can I? Through will? You understand what we said the other day about will? Will has nothing whatsoever to do with what is. But will is the expression of desire as me. And we think somehow through will we shall come upon the other.
My favorite color is spring.
And so we say to ourselves, I must control thought. I must discipline thought. When the I says I must control, I must discipline thought, it is still thought. Separated itself as the I and thought as something separate. But still thought. The I and the not I. And thought, one realizes, being measurable, being noisy, chattering,
But these are great. I should probably tweak what I'm on. Double-edged there.
Come on, we sing together. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may.
Running all over the place, has created this space of a little rat, that monkey that chases its own tail. So one says, how is thought to become quiet? Because thought has created the technological world and the world of chaos. The world of war, the national division, the religious separations. Thought has brought about misery, confusion, sorrow. Thought is time.
It's
So time is
how
sorrow.
alone we aren't.
And one sees all this. If you have gone very, very, very deep, not at the instruction of another, but merely observing this in the world and in yourself, then the question arises,
Connected in the
can
strangest
thought be
way.
completely silent and only function when necessary?
You know me, Raptors.
You follow?
Gotcha.
And necessary when it has used knowledge,
May I come near, Crux?
technology, going to the
I should go
office,
swimming
talking,
later.
and all
You're
the
welcome
rest.
home, Hannah. Oh, bye,
And
kitty.
the rest of the time absolutely quiet. As more there is that space and silence, the more it can function logically, sanely, healthily with knowledge. Otherwise, knowledge becomes an end in itself and brings about chaos. Are you following all that? Not agreeing with me, you see it yourself. So the question is,
Where did
thought,
you Raptors get all this gold?
which is in response of memory, knowledge, experience,
Sun and
time,
rain are the only magic items.
and thought is the content of consciousness.
I gift my spark.
Knowing thought must function with knowledge, and it can only function with highest intelligence only when there is space and silence, and from there function.
I wonder what adventure today has in store for all of us.
Am I make myself clear? Have I? Have I, sir? Do tell me, encourage me, will you? No, I don't want your encouragement, sorry.
Return to your pond, Grom.
So that's my problem.
Sprint like a snail, and you will never twist your ankle.
That is, there must be vast space and silence, because
What shall I see?
when there is that space and silence, beauty comes, love there is. Not the beauty put together by man, the architecture, the tapestry, the porcelain, the painting, the poem, the line of the architecture, of the architect. But
Grab them, friends. Looking
that
good,
sense of
guys.
rhythm,
Never trust a butterfly with a secret.
of
I'd be
vast
streaming,
space and silence,
camera spacing, pretty much just me. How was your drive?
and yet
Ally has been
Excuse
slain.
me?
thought must act, function.
Pretty
One
peaceful.
can't, there is no living
I
there
want to put my toes in the
and then coming down. So that's my problem.
Good pen in that idea. It's
Not
not a
my
bad
problem
one.
really, because you understand.
Life is such a
I just watched the
strange-
video.
I'm
on
making it a problem so that we can investigate it together.
The last time you got it.
So that
Yeah.
both you and I discover
It is a
in this
bad investment, but an
investigating
investment
something
nonetheless.
totally new.
Brush just
Because each
tickles
time
my fancy.
one
That's kind of-
investigates,
I wouldn't
not
mind
knowing,
another,
one
rope
discovers
one, like
something.
that last one you made. Remember that like cloth one you
But
made?
if you investigate with
Yeah.
knowing, then you will never discover anything.
Take all the gold.
That's what
I
we're
really
doing.
don't need it.
Can thought become silent? And then that thought, which must function in the field of knowledge, totally, completely, objectively, sanely, healthily, rationally, can that thought
Ally has been slain.
end
I
itself?
grow my own food. Surprises sting the most.
That it can thought, which is the past, which is memory, which is house and yesterday, can all that past come totally to an end, which is all that condition.
No,
So that-
fuck, I'm bad.
There is silence, there is space, there is a sense of extraordinary dimension. So I'm asking myself,
Has been slain.
and you are asking it with me, how is thought to end? And not
Why am I so bad?
in the very ending of it,
An enemy has
pervert
been
it
slain.
and go off into some imaginative state and
Wonder
become
what the
rather
ducks are plotting to do.
lopsided, neurotic, and vague. I thought must function with great vitality, great energy, with logical
Why?
sense.
Oh well.
And so I'm asking, how is that thought which must function and at the same time be completely motionless? You got it? You got my question? You've understood my question, right, sir?
One day, I'll root in one place and
This has been a problem
Lord Grompulus,
Of
Kevin
every-
Riverton of Croaksworth.
serious
I am at your service, my
religious man. Not the man who belongs to some sect,
Slain. An ally has been slain.
whether Christian, Hindu,
Nothing beats
Buddhist,
the
whatever
smell
it
of
is,
vegetation.
which are based on organized belief and propaganda and therefore not a religion at all.
Meet my friend David.
This has been the problem.
The forest protects us all.
As one digs very, very, very deeply,
So as not to hurt the dandelions.
can the two operate together? You understand?
They want to take your essence. Hide!
Then the two move,
Ally has been slain.
not coalesce, not join together, move. And they can only move together if thought doesn't separate itself as the observer and the observed.
See you later, Daisy.
You're getting,
Laugh like a hyena,
you follow?
and friends will gallop to your side.
I want to spin ahead.
Thank you, Lord Grum.
You see, life is a movement. In relation,
Animals have more to offer than
constantly moving, changing. And that movement
true spirit of
can sustain itself, move freely
ladybugs should really
when there is no division between the thinker and the thought.
Daisy.
That is, when thought doesn't divide itself as the me and the not me.
Sometimes I need to treat myself. Daisy stands.
When thought doesn't divide itself as the observer, the experiencer, and the observed and the experienced. Because in that there is division and therefore conflict.
An ally
When
has
thought
been slain.
sees the truth of that,
Only in
An
conversation.
enemy is dominating.
Now I'll see them. See me.
then it is not seeking experience. Then it is moving in experiencing. Aren't you doing this now? Look, sir, I said just now, thought
This looks like it's going to grow on me.
is all the knowledge, always accumulating, is a living thing, not a dead thing. Therefore, the vast
Every river
space
reaches the ocean
can
edge.
move together with thought. And when the thought separates itself as the thinker, as the experiencer, then the experiencer, the observer, the
Now,
thinker
where did I
becomes
leave
the
my
past.
Where the hell did he go?
And therefore there is a division and conflict and the past which is stationary. Right?
Now, why did that?
And therefore cannot move. You getting this? Am I talking to myself?
Godlike.
Or we're sharing this together?
Allies has been slain.
I see in this examination,
Double kill.
the mind sees that where there is division
Killing spree.
in thought,
Turret plating will soon fall.
movement is not possible.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Movement.
Nobody's a little stiff. Must be an oak.
Where there is division, the past comes in. And therefore, the past becomes stationary, the center. The immovable center.
Everything is connected in
The immovable center can be modified, added, but it is an immovable state. And therefore it cannot, it has no free movement. So my next question is,
An ally has been slain.
to myself and therefore to you, does thought see this, or is perception something entirely different from thought? Okay, I can't meet you. Look,
Thinking it was a week sooner, so she doesn't have to panic.
one sees division
Enemy killing spree.
in the world, national, religious, economic, social, and all the rest of it, class. And in this division, there is conflict. That's clear. And just listen. So I've got
I love how the grass is fluffy on my toe.
And when there is division in myself, fragmentation, there must be conflict. When in myself I am divided as the observer and the observed,
Happy little cloud.
the thinker and the thought, the experiential experience, that very division is created by thought, and thought which is the result of the past.
No, it's just flesh showered.
Sun and
Oh,
rain
I guess it
are
is greasy
all
because I.
magic
Yeah,
items.
that's me.
I see the truth of this. My question is, does thought see this, or some other factor sees this? Are you meeting this? Do we understand? When I say I see this, the truth of it, does thought see the truth, or some other factor sees the truth? Or the new factor is intelligence and not thought. Now what is the relationship between thought and intelligence? You understand my question? I'm terribly interested in this. Personally, you can come with me or not. I'm really, this is extraordinarily going to this. Thought has created this world, the past, the present, and the future. Thought is time,
Sprint like a snare,
and
and you will never destroy.
thought says to itself, I see this division outwardly and inwardly. And I see this division is a factor of conflict. And is not capable to go beyond it. Therefore it says, I am where I began. I've left. I am still with my conflicts. Because thought says, I see the truth of division and conflict. Now, does thought see that, or a new factor of intelligence sees that? Right? Now, if it is intelligence that sees that, then what is the relationship between thought and intelligence? Is intelligence personal? Is intelligence the result of book knowledge, logic, living, experience? Or is intelligence the freedom from the division
A gift from the forest.
of division which thought has created, and logically seeing that and not being able to go beyond it, remains with it, not try to struggle and not try to overcome it. Out of that comes intelligence. Right, sir? Am I making myself?
An ally has has been slain.
Life is
So
such
we are
a
asking,
strange miracle.
what is intelligence? Is intelligence
Wrong.
cultivable?
Wrong.
Is intelligence innate?
Brush just tickles my fancy.
And does thought see the truth of conflict, division and all the rest of it? Or
Hi, Crop. I'll find
is
you
it the
later.
quality of mind,
I'm having an
is the quality of mind that it sees the fact and is completely quiet with the fact? Completely silent with the fact. Not try to go beyond it, overcome it, change it, but completely still with the fact. It is that stillness that is intelligence. Got it? So intelligence is not thought. Intelligence is the silence.
Has destroyed a turret. An enemy is unstoppable.
ta-da!
Therefore, totally impersonal. Doesn't belong to any group, to any person, to any race, to any culture.
Has been destroyed.
I grow my own food.
I have found, mind has found, that where there is silence, not put together by thought and discipline, practice and all that terrible
I follow
stuff,
only the sun. And something good. Just one
but
time.
seeing, see that thought cannot possibly
Triple kill.
go beyond itself, because thought is the result of the past, and where the past is functioning, it must create division, and therefore conflict, sorrow, and all the rest. Seeing that
Your inhibitor
and
has been
remaining
destroyed.
completely still with that,
Your turret has been destroyed.
you know, it's like being completely still with sorrow.
Dying isn't so bad. Now that the dying part's over.
You know, somebody whom you love or for whom you care, whom you have looked after, cherished, loved, concerned with, when that person dies, there is a shock of loneliness, despair, sense of isolation. Everything falls round you. In that sorrow, to remain with it, not seeking explanation, the cause, why should he go and why not I? To remain completely still with it. To remain with it completely still is intelligence. And that intelligence then can operate in thought, using knowledge. And that knowledge and thought will not create division.
The final extract this week is from the 6th talk at Rajghat in 1962, titled Letting Every Thought Flower in Freedom.
Thought creates all the divisions that exist in love.
Moron.
Godly love and human love and all the rest of it. and is not the quality of mind that has complete leisure, that has come into being through understanding, observing, acquired. A sense of silence. For me, this whole process of investigation into oneself is meditation. Meditation is not the repetition of words and formulas, mesmerizing oneself into all kinds of fanciful states. If you take opium, a tranquilizer, it will give you marvelous visions. But that's not meditation. Meditation is actually this process of investigation